Martin Emerson was not a name that I imagine many Browns fans expected to be called for the Browns' first pick in the draft, especially considering that pretty much every mock draft had the Browns going defensive line or receiver on day 2. Emerson is one of the biggest cornerbacks of the draft at 6'2", 201 pounds. His frame and long 33.5-inch arms allow him to physically overwhelm receivers. Against Alabama last year, top-tier receivers like Jameson Williams, who we saw go at number 12 to the Lions, and John Mechie, who landed with the Texans at pick 44 in the second round, had a hard time separating against him because of just how physical he is. Emerson is at his best in off-man coverage, and here's a great example of his bread-and-butter technique against Jameson Williams. As soon as Williams starts to cut inside, Emerson triggers upfield and violently jabs his hands inside Williams' chest and disrupts the timing of the route before swarming to the football for the pass breakup. Once Emerson gets his hands on the receiver, it's very difficult for receivers to separate because of just how long he is. And when he gets control of receivers, he's able to stay in their hip pocket throughout the entire phase of the route. While Emerson isn't the fastest guy, he only ran a 4.51 40, he can cover smaller, fast receivers vertically. On this play, he's playing off-man coverage against John Mechie, who's running a double move. When Mechie breaks outside as the first part of the double move, Emerson latches on to Mechie's inside shoulder to prevent him from driving right by him. So when Mechie tries to turn the corner and beat him over the top, Emerson is draped all over him and squeezes Mechie to the boundary. Emerson's ceiling is severely limited by his lack of quickness and slow foot speed. When receivers don't let him get his hands on them, he struggles. In the Alabama game, Jameson Williams and John Mechie killed him with comebacks and curl routes where Emerson was just completely outmatched. When corners, like Martin Emerson, lack speed and quickness, they have a significantly reduced margin for error since every little mistake is amplified because they don't have the makeup speed to be able to correct their mistakes. Corners like Greg Newsome, who the Browns drafted last year in the first round, have exceptional speed and quickness, and therefore are able to make up for small mistakes in an instant because of just how quick they are. Slower corners like Martin Emerson don't have the same luxury that faster guys like Greg Newsome have, because they have to be on point with their technique at all times, otherwise they're not going to be able to keep up with superior athletes. So that's the difficult problem with drafting a slower, less athletic cornerback in the early rounds. Emerson's aggressive playstyle can also hurt him at times as well. He can get too grabby, evidenced by 7 pass interference calls against him in his last 2 seasons in college. Because Emerson isn't very quick, he finds himself defaulting to grabbing receivers' jerseys on sharp cuts just to keep up. Emerson is matched up with Jameson Williams on this rep with no safety help whatsoever. Williams, a very speedy receiver obviously, pumps his arms and acts as if he's about to explode vertically. Knowing that Williams is in a different dimension in terms of speed, Emerson immediately flips his hips to try to get down the field as fast as he possibly can, but Williams isn't running a go route. He stops on the brakes as he's running a comeback route. Emerson is caught completely off guard and panickingly grabs onto Williams' jersey just to keep his balance and avoid tripping over himself. Overall, Emerson adds size and physicality that the Browns are lacking in the cornerback room. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, and Greedy Williams are all under 190 pounds, and the AFC North is full of big ex-receivers like T. Higgins, Chase Claypool, Rashad Bateman, and now George Pickens that all pose mismatches that Emerson could eventually counteract with development. However, Emerson has a glaring lack of speed and quickness that will be difficult to overcome against NFL receivers. I'm going to give this pick a B-. I was conflicted with a B- and a C+, because like I said, I liked the thought process of adding a bigger corner to the roster, but selecting a player with a defined skill set who you likely could have gotten later in the draft is not great value.